All right, let's go through this real quick. 8 gross things that tell me your home isn't being maintained. And yes, every real estate agent that's worth their salt, every real estate agent that is worth their salt will go through there. I just got off the phone with an agent who, I don't know, kind of crazy. Not saying she's crazy. I don't know. I'm not saying she's crazy, but she just, I don't know if she knows the process. So anyway, these aren't deal breakers, but they're clues. Now let's go through it real quick. Hard water rings in toilets and sinks. This isn't Ontario. Now this is Canada, but water is water. If you see neglect, it rings loud and true. Right? Not this, that, but it's also hard water. If you see rings in the toilet or in the sinks or anywhere else, it's a clue. You're not maintaining your house. When you ask for a realtor to come and do a listing presentation for you, you want to make sure your house is in the best possible light. It doesn't have to be perfect because we know how to fix those things, right? But let's make sure that it's professionally cleaned or at least very clean, right? A mystery smell no one can explain. When everyone shrugs and says you get used to it, that's a red flag. Even in hot weather or moderate weather, it doesn't matter. If you have a smell, it needs to be handled. It could be a garbage can, it could be a garbage disposal, or in Canada, they call them garburators. Something you probably didn't know unless you're from Canada, a garburator, or sewer, or drain, or a wall. It doesn't matter. If there's something festering, you know the smell. Don't get used to it because that will turn off buyers really quick. Bathroom fans that don't actually vent outside. Steam plus or minus, or steam plus 10-degree weather. Now that's Celsius and Fahrenheit. That's 14 degrees. That's freaking cold. Moisture problems waiting for you to show up in an inspection report. Yeah, in the cold where it freezes, you have to worry about freezing. We don't have to worry about that in California. For the most part, up in the mountains you do. I've had pipes break in my cabin that I had years ago. But it's true. Never know, right? Smells need to be handled. We know how to take care of that. There's pest control, there's drywall, there's handyman, there's all sorts of different possibilities. Fans need to be working. You need to clean out the fans, period. You see the dust festering around the fans, that's a clear indication that you're not maintaining your house. Caulking that's black, cracked, or peeling, small detail, but big signal. Absolutely, that should be done every year, especially if you have it rotating all the way through. And what it's indicative of is water moisture problems behind the tile, behind the bathtub, behind the whatever the tile is. If you have black gunk happening all the time, there's an issue behind that. Furnace filters that look ancient, yes, you have to change it out every 6 months. And there's a reason why. For the efficiency of the HVAC system, heating, venting, air conditioning, absolutely. My parents' place just cost $500 for us to get that fixed because they didn't clean the filters, they didn't maintain it right, and it needed a new capacitor on top of some other things. Peeling paint around windows or freeze, yeah, but if you see paint or caulking that's peeling, there's some kind of moisture issue going on around your windows or your doors, especially if they're outside, right? Grimy switch plates, door handles, stair railings, high touch areas tell the truth about a home, how it's treated. There's something called melamine. It's like a sponge, white sponge. It'll take that stuff right off. It takes off the grease, the dirt, all sorts of stuff. It just naturally occurs because you touch stuff and then you cook and then you touch more stuff. And it's not that you're filthy. It's just, you just let it go and you don't think about it. 8 dryer vents packed with lint. Oh yeah, that's a bad one, guys. And that's the number one reason why houses catch on fire. Absolutely crazy. It's a huge fire hazard. And some insurance companies tell you that they will not cover that. They'll give you a hard time if they notice that the fire started at the dryer vents. Clean your dryer vents, clean all that stuff, guys. It's just for the health of your life in your house. Okay. 8 gross things that tell me your home isn't being maintained. There you go. Real estate crash is imminent. Now, look, this is from India, full disclosure, but here we are looking at it from a place where, why am I bringing this up? Because we live on a house of cards, right? The globe is a house of cards today. We're a global economy. Our housing market is affected by the gas prices, which is affected by the Iran war, which is affected by whatever, right? The stock market and unemployment, all this other stuff. It's global. So keeping an eye out on what's going on is really important for all of us to understand what's going on in the world, not the politics, but understand what it could happen to you. So this one's talking about home loans are being less dispersed, meaning there's less home loans being funded, right? Areas with 4,000 to 5,000 square feet are being, so it's being overpriced, being sold at 8,000 to 9,000 square feet, right? That means it's overpriced. When something's overpriced for too long, there's going to be a comeback, right? SBA versus SAC, that's square footage. Again, it's the same thing. If it's being written, well, obviously there's probably, maybe that's appraisal fraud or loan fraud there, which could happen. Who knows? The higher construction costs are there. It's higher expenses, but our construction costs have actually come down quite a bit in the last 5 years. So that's a good thing, right? Who will be affected? Tier 1 flat owners all the way down to tier 2. It could be tier 2. It depends on where you are. But if stuff happens, it could affect a lot of people. And then that could tumble into a house of cards, right? And that's why this is important for us to understand how much crash. It's not going to thank 2008. Yesterday, we talked about the oncoming foreclosure epidemic. And well, we know that's the funding is there, the equity is there. It could happen, but we just don't have that many pre-foreclosures reeling it out. That's what he's saying there. It could be because it could be completely overbought, oversold, right? We talked about China doing that with all the apartments. So it's something that you have to be aware of about global real estate that affects everybody. So just be aware that could be one thing of the house of cards. House probate sales, we talk about that. Even if your parents are going into an active adult community and you need to offset your house, you need to sell your house, your childhood home or your parents' home, let us know. We can come in and fix things up, take care of stuff, get rid of, do an estate sale. We have a bunch of people on that team that can help you out with that kind of stuff, and we can get everything done pretty quick. You're not going to make $1 bazillion off the estate sale, especially with older furniture, but just realize that, right? Talk about that all the time. Becoming a buyer's market, not yet. I don't think we're going to do it here in the Silicon Valley, but there's other areas like San Leandro is a buyer's market. Hollister is a buyer's market. Santa Cruz, not so much, but down the coast around the Monterey Bay, yes, there's some buyer's markets that are coming up. So just be aware. If you're interested in doing this, the link is in my blog. Take a look. This is distressed sale of the week. This is in San Leandro. It's the only bank-owned property in San Leandro right now, but it's $700,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, built in 1951. This is a World War II era house. I sold a couple of houses right down the street from here, and that's some great photos. That's so awesome that they took those types of photos. That means the occupants, the former owners, are still living in it. When you see this little thing right here, it means it's real estate owned. There you go. That's it. It's a good property. It's just on market 20 days, and it's really close to the bay, so you don't have a lot to worry about. And yeah. And then this is Mountain View Home of the Week, $2.4 million for a house versus $600,000 for a house. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,700 square feet, built in 1940, completely built out, but it has a small lot. The only good thing it has going for it is it's walking distance to downtown Castro Street. And here's your pictures. It's a nice house. It's not like gargantuan or anything, but this is what you get for $4.5 million. Which was it? $2.4 million in Mountain View, which actually it's not that bad of a price because I know that they usually go for about $4 million. But you can see why, because while things have been maintained, these are a little bit dated. There's nothing wrong with that, right? There you go. And I like the fact that you probably have pretty decent parking. Let's see what the map looks like real quick. I know we looked at it, but let's take a quick look. Yeah, so you're right on Franklin Street. There's like a park right here. That's a park right there. So I've driven around here, but you're walking distance to Castro Street. So fine dining, fun dining, meet your friends there, have a good time. Nothing else is going on right now. Things are slowing down just a little bit, and inventory is normalizing at 1,400. I think we've hit the peak, right? We've hit the peak. We're seeing the numbers, the days on market go up a tad bit, but nothing crazy. We've seen those numbers go up just a tad bit here and there, and then bank owns are pretty much stabilized. The same thing with San Jose. We've had 702 for sale right now. 711 was May 2025. And right now, so we haven't really peaked over for San Jose, but in Santa Clara, we definitely have. 1,252 versus, 1,400. So that's misleading. Oh, wait, maybe that number went 1,456. So we did peak in April, but I think the numbers are going to come down here a little bit. We only have a few more weeks left, and then that's it. So what I'm saying is this selling season has been a bust. What really threw us off is in February, rates came down to 5.99, came under 6%. And then we got some really great flooding in, and within 3 days, the rates went back up, and it screwed everybody. And when you plan on the market getting better and things turn around, there you go. Now we see the market slowing down. We could have had 300 or 400 houses selling every week, but now we're still at 200. And that's unfortunate. But you just deal with it. You just deal with it. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for calling. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Avatana. We'll see you out there.